Alright, today here on Fixing That Up, we're going to be making a pound cake chocolate pour over. The first thing we're going to be needing to do here is to melt 1 cup of butter, which is going to be 2 sticks. So go ahead and get your 2 sticks of butter. I have them sitting out here for a second so they're kind of melted. We're going to go ahead and put these on the stove here. We're going to melt this. This is a very old pan. We only pretty much use this pan just to make this pour over cake here. This pan here is extremely old. It was passed down through the family. Okay, with our butter on top of the stove in the pan melting away here, we are going to go ahead and turn the oven on to 350 degrees. Let that be preheating up while we start adding in our ingredients here. First thing we want to add in, since the butter's still doing its thing, is 2 cups of sugar. Let's go ahead and dump them on in. Next thing up on the list is going to be 4 eggs. Just dump them right on in there. 1 cup of milk. 2½ cups of flour. Just plain old self-rising. Next up is 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. Okay, the very next thing will be the butter, and since it is fully melted, we want to go ahead and before we pour it in, we want to get it all around the edges of the pan that we can. Just roll it all around the edges. Make sure you don't pour any of this hot freaking butter on yourself. That'd be fun. When you get it good enough and coated, go ahead and pour all the rest of this in. Now we're going to sprinkle some flour in this pan here and wish it all around right quick. That'll keep it from sticking. Get a little flour in there too, just for such an occasion. Just get this flour all up in here and get it all around the sides and shake it off into whatever you want to shake it off into. Alright, this is pretty good and mixed up now. Time to take it on out, and we're going to pour it in a pan and stick it in our preheated oven. It's preheated already at 350 degrees. Alright, let's get this on in this pan here. This is going to cook for 52 minutes. At 350 degrees. Let's get this in here. Try not to jump around too much. We'll go ahead and set our timer for 52 minutes also. Next thing we want to do is the chocolate. Now you can put this right inside of the pot here. Let's do 2 cups of milk. It's going to take 3 cups of sugar. Measure that out right over it. Next up is going to be 4 tablespoons of butter, and you do not need to melt this. Get our butter in here. 2 dashes of salt. Now we're going to need 2 teaspoons of the vanilla extract in here. Now for the chocolate part. We're going to put in 6 heaping tablespoons of the cocoa. Now we're going to get a little mixing spoon. I like to use the wooden spoons here. Just gradually, barely mix it just to get the sugar that's on the bottom or whatever on off. And we're going to go ahead and put this on the stove top here, and we're going to cook this on low. We still have 46 minutes left on the cake, so as this is cooking on low, you'll see it starting to thicken up, and just stir this occasionally. Okay, our cake just went off in there. We will get all that checked here in a second. it is time to really start going over your chocolate now. If you see any clumps in here, go ahead and get a whisk and get them out, or press them to the side with a spoon. If the chocolate's not done at the same time the cake is, there could be consequences. Okay, let's get her on out here and I'll show you how to check and make sure it's done. What we want to do here is a simple toothpick test. Get you a little toothpick and stick it down here in the middle and pull it up, and if it pulls out clean, make sure this is in the camera, if it pulls out clean, that means the cake is done. Now we're going to get a plate that fits over the top of this here, and we're going to flip this over onto it. Alright, we've got our plate over here. Let's see if we can flip it over, not lose anything. There it is, mostly on the plate. Okay, the chocolate is all ready and the cake's all ready. Got a little dipper here for the chocolate. Let me demonstrate how to eat this. Each time you want a piece of this, you will be heating up the cake in the oven, and you will have the chocolate heating up on the top of the stove. You do not pour the entire chocolate over the entire cake. You cut you a single piece, and then you pour your chocolate over it in the plate like so. Just drench it all over the top of it, and that is how you eat it. You would have to heat this up, and we'll have to heat this up every time, but what you have here is a delicious chocolate covered cake here now. Unfortunately, this piece is going to go to waste because this was just for the video, but that is the gist of it. That's how you do it.
That's mine.
Okay, that piece is not going to go to waste, but anyway, that's the gist of it. Almost forgot to mention that this chocolate will get thicker each and every single time you warm it up.